The second activity under step 5 is all about working with schools. So this activity is a standalone activity, so you can conduct it without actually setting up a waste committee or a waste infrastructure in the village. That would be preferred, but it is not necessary. So also, since schools around the planet are operated in different ways, and we have experience only for Myanmar, what I will give you is only a general overview on what kind of activities we are doing here. You will have two main objectives for this activity. The first one is that awareness raising on waste is included in some way into school activities. The second one is that a waste management system is established in the school, which is a little bit more advanced than just dropping things somewhere and then collecting it maybe once a week. Here is a rough outline of the activities which you could conduct in school. After you have introduced yourself to the school management team and you say, okay, we have clarity on what we're going to do, you should focus on two steps. The first one is mainly with the teachers. So first of all is the teachers themselves probably need some awareness around waste. Then when you are clear with that one, then you will move into providing methods around teaching activities around solid waste. And the last part is that you will then actually provide some IAC material which are maybe already available in the country. The other step is then where you actually work then really with the students, which we call practical activities. The first one is awareness raising for the children, and the second one is where you then set up a waste management system together with the students in the school. So depending on how you want to conduct all the activities, it can take you something between 3 and 5 days to work with the school until everything is completed. The place of activity for sure is the school, and your main stakeholders are on one side the teachers for training of trainers and management of everything, and for sure as a final focus group are the students. Depending on what kind of activities you are doing, for sure you have different materials which you needed. Below the video in the link or in the resource section, we will gather a number of IAC material which we are using here in Myanmar, but also some references we gathered from other countries which are in a similar development condition. The first thing you actually have to do when working with a school is awareness raising amongst teachers on the topic. To our experience, this is not naturally given. In rural areas, often the teachers do not have the knowledge or experience on environmental issues in general, but then waste also in specific. In the first step, you need to raise the awareness and so that they afterwards get engaged on the topic and are willing to transfer more knowledge and get the students active. So here you can use the same training method as you did already with a committee or in general for the community. The next step is then to share curriculums or teaching methods with the teachers. So here it will require quite a decent amount of prior work from your side, as you need to create possibly this curriculum for the teachers. So you need to research what is actually available in the country on this topic, and then from there select small amount of these methods or curriculum and share this with the teachers so that they have something very simple, straightforward, which they can then use in teaching the students. After there is then a good understanding from the teacher's side, it is very helpful if you provide some sample trainings or teachings to the students so that it becomes a little bit easier for the teachers to follow and to see how to use the training materials which you have already developed and which you have shared with the teachers. Next to the teachings, there are also some practical activities which we believe are quite, on one side maybe fun, but on the other side also very educational for the students, and which we will just have a look into now. There are two kinds of activities you can make with the students. The first one we call awareness games. So here we have 3 activities which we believe are good to do with the children. The first one is the segregation game. This is working similar as you did already with a committee or you do in the household awareness raising trainings, where you ask the participants to segregate the waste into 3 different kinds. So inorganic, organic, and recyclables. So you can play this with the cards as you maybe did in the other trainings, or you can have this game after a cleanup in the school, and then after you received all the real waste they have collected, you can ask then the students to kind of segregate the waste into the different bins. The second game we call Save the Fish. So there you need to have a real fish, and you have a real fish in a bowl with water for sure. You first will ask the students to throw garbage into the bowl with a fish. That can be small cut pieces of plastic or dirt or anything which you can find. So it's, in that moment, is a kind of cruel thing to do, and this acts as a more psychological game on the students. And then after some time you see, okay, now the water is getting really quite dirty. You should then, or the student should then save the fish again from that dirty water. We learned that this cruel game has actually a quite good trigger effect on the students, and therefore is a nice game, although a little bit cruel to have. It's a nice game for the children. The last one are typical upcycling activities where you are creating something new from existing waste materials. This could be from plastic bottles, which are maybe the most common one, to any other material you can find on old shoes, for example. Slippers, these rubber slippers are often also a quite nice material to do something. So that is on your own, your creativity to find something for the students there. The other set of activities are around setting a microcosmos of good waste management at school. The first one there is probably just a cleanup, just to solve the existing historical waste which are probably lying around school. The second one is then around making new bins. So it is not good in the school, in this case, to buy bins, but to create bins with the students is actually a really nice activity. The third one is then around organic waste treatment, so school composting, gardening activities in the school. And the last one, which is probably the most complicated, at least here in Myanmar, in the rural areas attached to the school, either in the school or just outside the school, there's a lot of stalls selling either sweets or snacks or some locally produced stuff, which are then bought by the students during the break. And here it would be really a good activity if the school is really active to work with these sellers so that you can reduce plastic waste as much as possible. The easiest one there is for sure the plastic bag, by requesting students to take whatever it's a cup or a bowl or a plate, which you then for sure have to prepare in the school that these are available, so that instead of going out and taking whatever they are buying in a plastic bag, they can take a plate, a bowl, a cup, and then go there, buy it, and then afterwards wash the material and put it back. The largest challenge we have is mostly that here in Myanmar, the teachers, or actually the whole school, is really framed around just implementing what is written in the curriculum. So, but these environmental activities are extra curriculum activities. So it is really difficult to get the teachers on board and to keep on going, raising awareness in the school and working on this topic. We were sadly not able to really solve this problem. But from our experience, two things could maybe work. The first one is that you are really working with the teachers to create a clear timetable when they will conduct these awareness raising activities in the school. The second one is that while you are maybe giving the training to the students, so you're doing some games or building some bins, so during this activity, try to give the teachers already as much ownership as possible so that they will lead it, and that way hopefully they will take more ownership and finally keep on going with this activity.